machines! Hit 'em!
It's a beautiful procession. It's well organized. We get a lot of support from the local bikers to help the challenge of fighting prostate cancer. And the comradeship of the group is just phenomenal. And the people that volunteer and work it is great. I just heard about the disease, and typically, as a male chauvinist goes, not me, it's not going to happen. But it did happen. It was a surprise to me.
Most men pretend you don't know about it and maybe it'll never happen to you. Well, it's like anybody, when you hear that you've got the big C, well, your heart drops and you just figure, why me, you know? And then I guess you come around to the realization, well, what am I going to do about it?
I discovered I had prostate cancer after a medical in November 2005. You know, in some ways I thought I was lucky because it was a cancer that's curable. Otherwise, I knew that if I was going to take care of it, I had to be my own advocate and learn about the disease and learn about the options that I had.
You first start talking to the medical people, it kind of makes your head spin because you don't know all this terminology and you have to learn what each one involves, and then you have to make a decision. Now for me, who had no symptoms whatsoever, to make a decision that I'm going to let some guy start doing surgery on me that's going to alter my my life somewhat, that's a hard one to come to grips with.
I basically didn't want to talk about it because it involves a person's manhood, and being a male, we're very, very proud of that aspect of our lives, and so we kind of kept it secretive for a while. You know, I was kind of ashamed to tell people what I had. I guess it was just the male part of me. People I talk to that are going through it or have had it done, they don't seem to want to talk too much about it because it's about self, how it affects self.
They just don't talk about these kinds of things, and especially when it comes to something to do with your sexuality and those kinds of things. They don't talk about it, but they're doing a lot better job since this Ride for Dad has happened. I've last year spoke in the parking lot of the Keg to the group there for a short few minutes. Well, you didn't do that 5 years ago in mixed company in the Keg parking lot.
Yeah, it is a taboo. It's not taboo to talk about the prostate cancer, and it's not taboo to talk about TERPs, which are pretty common. But it is taboo to talk about the after effects and the side effects of the surgeries or the hormone treatments or whatever, the brachytherapies or whatever. Everybody's afraid that things aren't going to work when they're all done. They don't want to be dribbling in their underwear, and they don't want to be impotent. I mean, it's a fear that we have as men, and it's plain and simple. For all of our lives, that's how we are measured. We're afraid to admit that something's not functioning. Because in our own mind, it decreases our maleness or our masculinity. And I think that's a pretty normal fear. And most of the guys that I have talked to that have asked about my surgery, that's one of the first things they kind of beat around the bush. You know, does everything still work? And, you know, and then I try to say to them, well, what do you mean? You know, come to the point. Tell me, you know, what do you want? You know? And so the first thing they usually ask about, well, you know, do you have any trouble with the dribbles? I say, nope, none. You know, it works. So I said, do your exercises. They're all in the literature. Do them, follow. Then they always tippy-toe around the impotence. And I say every case is different.
When I first got diagnosed with breast cancer in '92, there wasn't very much out there for awareness and information. And there's a group of us that got together and decided it's about time we made women aware of breast cancer and get the taboo lifted from that. The men actually got a good kickstart off of the women because part of the group that were organizing their support group actually came and talked to us at the breast cancer support group and said, how do you do it? Like, where do we start? And just put an ad in the paper and they will come. And basically, just to get the men to talk about it was very difficult. They were very reluctant to talk to the women about it, for sure. But, you know, if you make light of it, when a few of the fellas came to talk to us about it, I walked in there with a rubber glove and snapped it like this and said, all right, free rectals for everyone. Well, that just sort of broke everybody up, and they were fine after that.
Women are just better talkers, let's face it.
Talking about it, that's what makes me feel good. And that's a big part of it, is communications. Have people available to talk to about it. You know, like I get people phoning me and I'll spend an hour on the phone assuring them and talking to them that they seem to listen to too many people that haven't got the knowledge of the cancer, and they got horror stories to tell them. And I said, no, don't listen to them. You have to talk to somebody that suffered it. If I didn't have a broken leg, I couldn't tell you what it feels like. And that's what prostate cancer is all about. Talk to people that had the treatment, had it done, and then you will know what it's really like.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of them, they hear the stories and whatnot, and they figure, God, I don't really even want to know about this. If this is going to affect my sexuality and my ability to have sex with my partner and everything, like I just don't even want to know about it. I'd like to play that ostrich thing and bury my head in the sand, you know. But the fact is that if you're diagnosed with prostate cancer, then you have to deal with it. And the sooner you deal with it, then the better it is for everybody. I found the group, the support group, to be excellent. A lot of people go there that are really confused and really don't have the, you know, they get too much information. They don't understand it because it's all new technology, new words. You don't understand it very well. But when you go to this group, it's done at a slower pace. You can talk to other people. You listen to other people tell things that they've been involved in and what's happened to them. And so you pick up a real amount of information and really support.
It's same with breast cancer and same with the prostate cancer. It's not just your cancer, it's a family, your friends, cancer also, because everyone is involved.
It's just going to take more publicity on TV and advertising, and get it to where the male will, you know, swallow his pride and come out. The backup meetings, support groups we have in town do very good, but you know, they're minimal to the people they touch. We have to get the government to and the health system to start promoting this disease with the male. Breast cancer gets a lot, and I don't know why prostate can't follow suit, because prostate to men is like breast cancer to women. It's a very personal thing to have done to you.